Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Wednesday. In my previous take, I said happy Monday. So happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is having a great day. If not a great day, then at least a good day. Last night, I watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And we're going to talk about it. If you noticed, we have some of the Christmas decorations up. We have that little guy up. And we have my mom, listen, while I was working, my mother did all this work upstairs. She put up all the Christmas decorations upstairs. So this weekend, I'm planning on decorating my bedroom and the downstairs area. So stay tuned. If I get it done, we'll see. But last night, as I said, I watched Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We're going to get into it right now. So first off, Heather went over to Angie's for a light lunch. And Heather, okay. So Heather, first of all, is saying she really doesn't know where Pioneer Day went wrong. Where did Pioneer Day go wrong? I mean, what happened? Well, it probably was because of your little game that you thought would be just great. The wagon game where Lisa Barlow said that Monica was nasty and she was gonna throw her off her wagon. There, it went wrong there. Take some responsibility for that. You caused that. Heather also said she's not sure what she's getting with Monica. Like sometimes she's happy, sometimes she's sad, sometimes she checks out, sometimes she's screaming. And she says it reminds her of Jen Shaw's behavior a lot. And Angie backs her up and says, yeah, I know, I feel the same way, but you need to talk to her before we go on this trip. You need to get everything right before we go on this trip. So you should call her up. Now listen, my opinion, Jen Shaw is living rent-free in a lot of these women's minds, especially in Heather's mind. Anytime Monica acts up a little bit, it reminds her of Jen. Red flags because it reminds me of Jen. Maybe it could just be that she is reacting the way that she's reacting because like last week, she felt ganged up on or she's triggered. Now, I'm not saying that Monica has acted perfect in every situation. I am not. However, Monica is not the first housewife to be very dramatic. That's why we watch the TV show. I mean, I watch it for the dramatics. That's why I watch it. So she's dramatic from time to time. So is she. So is Heather. I mean, listen, what about last year with that like black eye? I mean, she was all over the place last year. So what the hell? I don't think Heather needs to talk about Monica being all over the place. Everybody's all over the place. Next was Whitney and Justin. Whitney and Justin were coming back for marriage counseling. Obviously, they go dressed alike in their Gucci t-shirts. Hey, relationship goals, I guess. And while they're driving home, Whitney gets a text from her best friend Sherry, who's going through a really tough time because she's going through cancer treatments. She gets a text saying that Sherry has to be intubated, and it does not look good for her at all. And this kind of puts their marriage issues into perspective for them. Which, listen, this should not, her friend having cancer and probably not having a long time to live really shouldn't make them think like, oh, well, we need to stop therapy and everything will be fine. No, it should just put into perspective that, like, look, We still have these problems here, but at least we're together and we have beautiful children and we can get through this. I feel like that made them a little stronger when they got that information. Okay, so next up was Meredith and Lisa. Meredith and Lisa, they met for lunch. A little side note, they brought out that pizza that Lisa ordered. What the hell? That pizza would probably last her like a month, I'm thinking. I'm just saying. So Lisa's talking about Monica, and Lisa says that that her discussion, her talk with Monica went nowhere. And she once again, she feels like she's all over the place. And if she says, if I wanted to attack Monica, I definitely could. There's a lot of low-lying fruit. And Lisa says that I'm older now and I don't talk the way she talks. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I don't talk about women like that. All I need to say is 3 words: hot mic moment. Do you remember that? Do you remember when you talked about one of your very close friends, probably your best friend, or at least your best friend on the show? Remember when you called her a whore and then questioned and then said she slept with everybody in New York City, and then said that they couldn't buy a house because her husband moves around, his job moves around so much they can't buy a house? Remember that? And you said you hate her? You don't ever talk about women like that, please. You got some short-term memory. Meredith then asks Lisa if she told Angie that Meredith had threatened her. Meaning, did you ever say to her that I threatened to ruin her family and ruin her life? Lisa says, no, I didn't say that. I told her that she's lucky that you said she's lucky that I didn't mention what I have on her husband. Bless you. Dolly just sneezed. You didn't hear it. So she said, no, I didn't say that. I just said, I told her that you said I could, if I wanted to, I could. And a little bit later on in this scene, Meredith says, yes, there's information out there on everybody. There's information on you. There's information on me, everybody. And just because I have that information and I could, doesn't mean that I would ruin, that I would do that I would ruin. And Meredith during this conversation is very disappointed in Lisa, because just a few weeks ago they had met up and they had decided that, listen, if you hear anything and something doesn't seem right, then come to me with it so that we can discuss this. Meredith is also upset about the fact that Lisa had pumped the brakes on their friendship. The reason why she did that is Lisa's saying she did that because she doesn't like the fact that Meredith in Palm Springs had said, there's rumors out there, and I could say what's out there, and it would ruin. I don't like that you threaten that. And Meredith was like, hey, you better watch it. I didn't say threaten. At no time did I say threaten, which I did not know this, but Meredith is a lawyer. I don't know if she's practicing, but I did hear that she went to law school, and I don't know that she's practicing, but she does have similar experience. So you're not going to win against Meredith. Lisa had pumped the brakes on Meredith because of that. And she had asked, well, did you pump the brakes on your relationship with Angie? She says, no, I did not. And she says, well, even though she treated me terribly, you still didn't pump brakes on her. She says, no, but I don't support her. I don't know about that. I think you do. But I mean, I can see where both of them are coming from on this, on the pumping the brakes, because Lisa, I can see why Lisa did it, because she doesn't like this about Meredith, and she had seen it in the past. So she's kind of worried about it now. But I can also see it from Meredith's side. I mean, you're supposed to be good friends and you're working through this, and then somebody treats you like that, and you expect for your friend to stand up for you. Although I will be completely honest, I have no idea, absolutely no idea why Meredith is mad at Angie, and why. No, I don't understand. I don't understand the beef between them, especially the beef between Angie, between Meredith going to Angie. I just don't understand. If somebody can explain to me, let me know. So there was this one. By the end of this scene, I was almost like, I just don't care. Can we get this scene over with? Monica went over to Mary's for lunch. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I don't think Mary is a great person. I say that based on how she treats people in the service industry, like waiters, waitresses. I don't know how great of a person she is. However, I did like this scene. I like that Monica is kind of being friends with Mary. I don't know why. I enjoyed it. Now listen, she had her over for like cake and to talk. It was carrot cake. And Monica, she said, oh, how do you like the cake? Monica says, this is so delicious. Did you make this? She was like, no. What in God's name would you think that Mary made that cake? Mary did not make that cake. So Monica, they're talking about Lisa, and Mary says, well, listen, between the two of you, when you two get together, you both go at each other. And Monica had said, listen, I know, I fully accept my part in that. Mary tells her, you really shouldn't hold grudges. First of all, don't let them get to you. And second of all, don't hold grudges, which Monica was like, Mary gives excellent advice, except maybe she really might want to take some of her own advice, which true. You're not wrong. And Monica's impression of Lisa Barlow was spot on, like perfect, absolutely perfect. So I enjoyed that scene. I enjoyed a little bit of like lightheartedness because the next scene was tough. We find out in the next scene that Whitney's best friend Sherry had passed. She had gotten a call the night before, and her best friend Sherry had passed away. And she's driving, and while she's driving, she's talking to Angie on the handheld and on the hands-free phone, and Angie was very, if you need anything, was very kind. And very, very kind and caring. And she had asked, she had said, something like, I wasn't going to go to Meredith's jewelry event, but she had thought back to just a week ago when Sherry had showed up to her event, and Sherry had been going through chemotherapy or radiation. She had been going through cancer, and she still showed up. So Whitney was like, listen, if Sherry could do that for me, I can definitely show up for Whitney, for Meredith, which amazing that she did that. Next was Lisa and Jack and John had gone shopping for Jack's mission trip Columbia. They're the only place I would ever think would have a shop like just for mission shopping, like for clothing missionaries. Okay, it's in Utah. They're going in to shop for Jack, for missions. Like anytime you've ever seen like Mormon missions out, you have never seen them in like Dior, Gucci, Prada, Valentino, anything like that. No, not high fashion. It's always like black pants, short sleeve, button down, white top, and a tie. That's it. You've never seen fashion. She turns it into like a fashion show. She tries to do jungle chic. Now listen, I'm going to tell you, I think a lot of people were saying that Lisa Barlow has to change. Lisa Barlow has to change. I don't think Lisa Barlow has to change. The one thing that I like about her, because there's some things I just don't like about her, but the one thing that makes her watchable for me is when she's just ridiculous. Like when she's just ditzy and she's just kind of like, I don't want to say on her own planet, but just out there. So her going in and thinking that she's going to pick out all this high fashion for Jack to wear as he goes throughout Columbia, trying to push Mormonism on people, spreading the word of God. I like that. The times when she's so self-absorbed, I don't like that. I think Lisa Barlow, don't completely change her. She can evolve her personality, like how she treats people or how she interacts with people. But that part, I enjoy like the delusional part sometimes. So she turns it into like a like fashion show, like she's fashion shopping. Jack says to her, listen, I love you, but I need the space. And we find out that when Lisa was Jack's age, she was actually getting into Russian mobsters' cars and doing some crazy stuff. It was real sweet near the end though of the scene because Jack, when Lisa was talking about when Jack was really young, and she said something like about when you hear your heartbeat, you think, oh, I can't remember what it was. It was so sweet. It was really sweet at the end, and you can tell, like, even though she is self-absorbed and she doesn't have this, this self-awareness about herself. You can tell that she loves her kids. You can tell that she is a good mother at heart. That's what I think. Next up was Heather and Monica. Heather and Monica met for lunch. So Monica, the big question with this is Monica going to do the trip? She comes in. Heather's like, are you going to do the trip? And she's like, no. And Monica's like, Heather's like, what? She's, no, I'm going. I'm absolutely doing the trip. Yes, I'm doing the trip. Heather actually says to her, listen, if you're going to give it, then you have to be able to take it. She does. If you're talking about somebody who can't take it, it's not Monica, because Monica dishes it out, but Monica does take it. You can't say that she doesn't. She brings the drama and then she takes it. So what are you talking about? Monica then apologizes for, I guess it was for how she had acted at Pioneer Day. I put Monica apologizes for what I don't know. I think it was for how she acted at Pioneer Day. Nobody else apologized. I mean, Lisa didn't apologize. I don't know that she even needed to apologize. So Monica apologized, and then Heather Heather says thank you, but then in the confessionals, she says, oh, Monica has a dark side and there's a lot of red flags, and who doesn't have a dark side? Who doesn't on these shows, on these Real Housewives shows? You always see two sides to people. I mean, and the way people were ganging up on her last week, what was she supposed to do? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I wish Monica, I don't know. I don't want to say I wish Monica wouldn't have apologized, but I'm getting real tired of Heather going towards, because I swear she was going to say Jen Shah again. Why does everything Monica does have to remind you of Jen Shah? She worked with Jen Shah, yes, and she was probably friends with Jen Shah, but they're two different people. Monica, when Monica acts out, she's usually sticking up for herself, or she's triggered by something, probably because of what happened to her in the past. So I don't know, like these last 2 weeks, before this week and last week, I was really starting to like Heather again. And now in these last 2 weeks, I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know. It's odd. Okay, so next up was Meredith's jewelry event. Now, this is the second jewelry line from a Real Housewife of Salt Lake City. This one is called Plated by Meredith Marks. She says that it is a little more affordable. Like prices start at $50. I'm saying that I would like to find something and buy it, but I don't know if I would for $50. I don't know. We'll see. Whitney, I will tell you this. Whitney had just lost her best friend. Whitney showed up at that event. And when I say she showed up. She looked beautiful. You would never think, oh my goodness, this woman is grieving the death of her best friend. She looked phenomenal. And I'm not the biggest fan of Whitney, but I'm going to tell you, she looked phenomenal. So all of the other ladies are coming in. They're consoling Whitney about Sherry's passing. Lisa comes in, immediately makes a beeline to Heather and gives her some cannabis gifts. I guess because her signing was on 4/20, so she gave these cannabis gifts. Like a good Mormon would have the cannabis. So, but then she doesn't say anything to Whitney, who is standing right there. This really bothers Whitney. This really bothers Whitney because Lisa was actually the first person that Whitney had told about Sherry's passing. So she was very upset at that. A little bit later on, Lisa comes up to her and tries to talk to her about Meredith's lunch. And she says, listen, I have other things that are on my mind. We're not talking about this. So then Monica pulls them aside and gives them a little gift. Gives them rum from Bermuda and Portuguese pastries, which then later on, they kind of just left everything on a table, and I guess randos that were just walking around just started eating them, and she's like, listen, these aren't free, these are gifts, but here, another lady isn't here, Angie, you can have hers. So there's that. Also in between this, Lisa had talked to Monica. Monica is on the apology tour. So the apology tour continued for Monica. She apologized to Lisa. She accepted her part in Pioneer Day blow up, and everything looks fine between them. Everything looks like it's going to be just fine between them. back to Whitney and Lisa. So Whitney, like I said, Whitney ends up talking to Lisa again. And Whitney basically, like I said, just said she was hurt because Lisa really didn't say anything to her about Sherry. Lisa says, well, I can't keep track of everything that's going on. That really doesn't sound good. That just really doesn't sound good at all. And Lisa says, listen, I'm not a bad person. Whitney says, right, you're not a bad person, but you lack self-awareness. You're not wrong. Whitney, I'm not the biggest fan of Whitney. Whitney is not wrong about this. And then Lisa says, well, wait a minute. Is this because you're jealous of my friendship with Heather? She didn't say, are you jealous? Or she said, are you triggered? I'm thinking she's thinking, well, she's jealous that I have this friendship with Heather. I think that's laughable. Listen, Whitney's best friend just died of cancer. I don't think that's on her mind at all. I just don't. In the past, would I have maybe thought that? Sure. She has a lot going on her mind right now. I don't think that's the case at all. And here's the thing. In the confessional, the way that Lisa explained it was how she should have explained it to Whitney. In the confessional, she had basically come out and said she didn't know how Whitney would take it in public if she were to just go up and start talking about Sherry and console her in public. She said that she sent flowers. I think she sent flowers because that's her way of saying, like, I'm sorry, which everybody grieves differently. So while one person might be okay with somebody going up to them and hugging them in public and consoling them, another person might not be. And Lisa said she really didn't want to possibly trigger Whitney at this event. So, I mean, that is exactly how she should have explained it instead of how she did explain it. But listen, I can see both sides of the story on this. I can see where Whitney's coming from, because Whitney's like, I just lost my best friend. Everybody else is consoling me, but instead you don't even say anything to me. It's, for me, I don't think it was so much about the fact that she gave Heather a present. I think it's just that she didn't even pay any attention to her at all. And this is coming from someone they were very close. Before that discussion that she had with her a couple weeks ago about the sound bath and how they acted there, they were really good friends. So I can understand where both of them are coming from on this. Whitney says, listen, everything's about you, Lisa. Everything is always about you, which she's not wrong. Lisa breaks the fourth wall once again and storms out, asks the producers to take all take her mics off, everything. She's done. She starts crying. It's a little too dramatic. That's a little much. It's a lot. So that was that. The next 4 episodes are going to be in Bermuda. Buckle up, folks, because these are going to be the episodes that we have been waiting for. It's going to be a lot. So if you watch this week's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, let me know in the comments what you thought. It is 8 o'clock. I'm going to go watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to take some more copious notes. And with that being said, if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. Please make sure that you take care of one another. And as I say always, please, number 1, be aware of your surroundings. And number 2, please be safe. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow for a recap of Beverly Hills. Bye, guys. Love you.